right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hi YouTube, this is Raven. I'm a survivor of a 16-year marriage to a covert narcissist, and now I'm divorced from a covert narcissist. But I've also come to the realization after this 2.5-year divorce debacle, drama, that I was married to an actor. He was a very, very good actor, and he can fool a lot of people. And that's what's so dangerous about covert narcissists, is that unlike regular narcissists that, you can tell right away that they're grandiose and, selfish, with the covert narcissist in public, they're playing a part. They're an actor. And they're playing the part of sweet, loving, caring, whatever it is, in order to get them supply. But once they get home, they're a totally different person. And unless you're married to this person or related to them, or you're have some kind of intimate relationship with them where you're around them when they take their mask off, you don't know that they're a covert narcissist. Now, since being divorced, I've ran across a couple covert narcs. And I was able to tell after a while, getting to know them and seeing the mask slip, and to be able to figure out. But just in casual conversations you have with people, you're not necessarily going to know that they're a covert narcissist. And what happens with the victim, because the covert narcissist is playing this actor, and they're out in public, being the person who's volunteering for the church bake-off, or they're volunteering to take meals to somebody who's just come home from the hospital, or whatever it is. When the victim, tells the world that they're getting divorced or they're breaking up, everyone comes around like, oh, I can't believe you guys are getting divorced. You guys are so great together. Oh, isn't he wonderful? Oh, don't you just love him? And, these are things that I heard from people. And, the victim has no way of proving to the world that, no, it's like you have been watching a Emmy award-winning performance by an actor. So one of the things that I've noticed that one of the parts that he plays is he plays the part of concerned father, concerned and active father. And he does this at certain times and only in front of certain people to get supply, because he's playing that part. And I was very surprised because, he was playing this part the whole time that we went through child custody mediation, through the divorce. He's playing the concerned father, the loving, concerned father who just wants the best for his children. But behind closed doors, his actions are totally different. His actions are totally different, where his children are concerned. And I was very surprised when, at the beginning of this year, all of a sudden, he wanted to change child custody. He wanted to give me primary custody. The person he had been fighting the whole time, saying that he's such a concerned, loving father, and he wants as much time with his children as possible. Then he changes his mind like, no, I don't want him that much. I don't really want him that much. I even tried to give him extra time in the summer, and it's like, no. And the only thing I can figure is that, he was tired of having to play the role. Every weekend the kids are coming to his place. He's got the girlfriend there. The girlfriend doesn't want the kids around. And he probably saw that he was going to lose his supply with the new girlfriend, having the kids around, especially with my son, because my son has autism and ADHD, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So he's a very difficult child, to handle. And I don't think that she signed on for that. She didn't sign on to be a stepmom to a child with some difficult issues. So I was very surprised when he all of a sudden gave me primary custody. Now I'm extremely grateful. I'm so glad, to get more time with my children. But he was playing a part, and I had been telling people, this was proof that he'd been playing a part, and I had been telling people when we went through child custody and mediation, I was saying that he was not in his right mind to even go to mediation because he had put a gun in his mouth. He had attempted suicide. It was really actually a manipulation tactic because later I learned he was never suicidal. He was just trying to scare the living daylights out of me. But he spent time in the mental hospital. And when he got out of the mental hospital, he wanted a divorce. And that started this whole drama. And then, he's accusing me of being abusive. And it just got worse with the financial abuse and the divorce and just dragging things out. But here it is, this was May 24th when this had happened. And then in July, we're already going to decide child custody. I mean, barely 2 months had passed since this man supposedly was suicidal and in a mental hospital. And now we're sitting in front of a court-appointed mediator to decide where our children go to live. And I kept telling everyone, no, this should not be happening. I'm telling my lawyer, no, you need to be trying to get me full custody because I think he's crazy. I know now he was an actor, but at the time I really thought he was mentally unstable and I didn't want my children around him because, this is a man who had put a loaded shotgun in his mouth. I mean, this is how crazy it was. I thought he was going to turn the gun on me. And now 2 months later, we're sitting in front of a court-appointed mediator. And the court-appointed mediator is acting like everything's fine. Even though I've told the mediator, I'm like, this is what's going on. No, I don't even think we should be here today. And Narc is sitting there just acting calm and cool and collected. The actor is on stage. And he's sitting there, and he would grin, and he would laugh every time I would try to tell the mediator what I wanted. And it's like, no. And he's like, oh, you hysterical woman, you hysterical woman. I mean, that's the way he was acting. So, I think he was in win mode. He wanted to win. He wanted to stick it to me any way he could. And taking away the kids, only having the kids with me for 50% of the time, that was the way he could do it. That was the way he could stick it to Raven. But then, put a year onto it of him having to play the role of supportive and loving and caring father. He's not very interested in that anymore. He wants to keep his main source of supply, the girlfriend. But, other ways that, he obviously is not the caring father is that I've been trying, cat again, I've been trying for over a year now to get him to show me if he's putting money in our son's college fund. Because our daughter's college fund was always under my name. I'd started the fund when she was born, and I've put money into it every month. Even during the divorce, when financial times were hard for me, I was still contributing. Well, he had started our son's account, and I still have no way of knowing whether he's putting money in our son's college fund or not. I'm putting money in our daughter's fund. And so I had my lawyer contact his lawyer and say, look, I'll send monthly or quarterly statements of her college fund to him, and he can send me statements from our sons. Let's be transparent. Oh, that started a crap storm. I was like, absolutely not. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And so finally he agreed that my client will agree to send statements every January, only in January. And my lawyer was like, it's like, I don't understand this. Why do they not want to cooperate? And I told her, well, it's my idea, so he doesn't want to cooperate. But I said also, I think for the past two and a half years, he has not been putting money in my son's college fund. And, it's because, that he doesn't get any supply from that. No one's going to look at the college fund as like, oh, such a loving, wonderful father. He doesn't get accolades for that. And, he's cheap too. So, that's one thing. He doesn't want to buy the children clothes anymore. He doesn't buy them school supplies. Now, when he was playing the part of doting father, he would buy school supplies, and he brought the school supplies in a big bag to open house, and he would put them in front of the teacher so the teacher knew that he had bought school supplies. But, this time for open house, no school supplies. He shows up for open house, and instead he showed up to cause mischief. He came to open house. He took my daughter's class schedule, the only class schedule that they were giving her. He took it. And my mom chased him down. It's like, what are you doing? She needs that schedule for Monday morning to know where to go for class. Oh, I need a schedule. I need to know what classes she's in. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, why? Because he doesn't go to parent-teacher conferences. He doesn't have lunch with them very often. He doesn't go to he's not involved with PTA. He's not involved with fundraisers. He doesn't pay for field trips. He doesn't pay school fees. He doesn't participate, my daughter's, in swim lessons. He shows no interest in that. He doesn't care that she's really, really good, but he doesn't care. He doesn't want to show up. So he's not involved. If there's not something in it for him, he's not involved in it. And another example of this was that recently my daughter signed up for band. But then she changed her mind. Some teachers talked her out of it because they wanted her to sign up for agriculture. I'm like, we live in the country. You can do agriculture in our backyard. We live on a farm. It's like, you're going to take band for a year. You're going to try something new. Well, he gets on the phone and he tells her, you don't have to be in band if you don't want to. You have to find your own way in life. I'm like, find your own way? She's in 6th grade. She's got her whole life to find her own way. When she graduates college, she can bum around Europe for 2 years. But right now, she's going to take band. She's going to do something. And I came to the realization he wants his children to be as mediocre as he is. He has not accomplished much in his life. He sits around and plays video games all day. He was laid off from his job, and he's supposedly working now as a contractor. But, I don't think he wants his children to eclipse him. He doesn't want his children to accomplish anything more than what he's accomplished in life. And, I've come to the realization that I have to be the parent. I can't rely on him to do any parenting, because unless he can be the actor and get the accolades and, get his Golden Globe Award for, actor, for Father of the Year or Best Supporting Actor or whatever, he's not going to be involved. And that's because covert narcissists are actors. And once you come to that realization, it makes it a little bit easier. You can understand them at least somewhat, and not feel like you're going crazy. But that's all for now. Be vigilant, be safe, take care.